Who is United's new striker Sesko, who can jump as high as Ronaldo? Ruben Amorim changed the entire attacking lineup this season. First, they signed Kuna and gave him the number 10 shirt. Then they signed Mbomo, who scored 20 goals last season. But Amorim definitely didn't want Højlund. And United transferred Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig in just 2 days for 75 million euros. He's 22 years old and exactly 6 feet 5 inches tall. Despite his height, he dribbles very comfortably. But his most important trait is that he can jump like an NBA player. This is called the Ronaldo Header Challenge, and he strikes the ball very comfortably. Who is United's new
Deixa ela montar na minha garupa. Deixa ela montar na minha garupa. Deixa ela montar na minha garupa. Que eu tô tipo Nina Bravanel mandando a mídia se fuder batendo na.
All right, today we're watching the best moment. All right, and we should be live. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having an absolutely amazing day today, guys. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Show that support. Let's go. But guys, before the stream starts, I just want to say this stream is sponsored by Karate Kid Legends. All right, so let's have a W stream. Like the stream. All right, and get ready to play Karate Kid Legends with me. It's gonna be fun. But anyways, I'll be right back because I'm gonna do a starting stream screen, and then I'm gonna wait till more people are in here. Okay, so I'll be right back.
I swear, man, the 2025 Men's Ballon d'Or list of nominees just dropped a couple days ago and people are very split about it. My man Cristiano Ronaldo said in an interview that the Ballon d'Or is now fictional after being asked who should win it this year. The five-time winner really said he no longer believed in individual awards because he apparently knows what is happening behind the scenes. Bear in mind, this is the same guy.
Which is the one you'd most like to end up with as number one? Which record?
The most golden balls.
Damn.
That's quite a double standard if you ask me. This the 2021 Ballon d'Or winner according to Ronaldo. With no previous winners nominated, we will actually have a first-time Ballon d'Or winner this year. This is Rodri turning up for this year's Ballon d'Or after having couple good games the entire season. That's crazy. Watching Scott McTominay getting nominated for a Ballon d'Or before Valverde is absolute cinema. But I also came over this picture of the ranking from the year 2000 and holy look at that fracking roster. And today we got freaking Michael Olise and Victor Gyökeres.
Oh man, you're just ruining it.
I mean, it's lots of questionable nominees, but I will let it slide.
So this guy, his name is Diddy, and Diddy is in a lot of trouble. See, it's the 90s, and he works at a record label in New York City. But Diddy, he's got big dreams. He wants to build an empire, and maybe smash a little during the process. And one day, he's at this music industry party, hanging out, and everyone's drinking and chatting, and they start talking to this girl, Lisa, and to Lisa's friend. And Diddy, he thinks these girls are fine. So when the party ends, he's like, hey, come to this after party with us. So they go to the after party. And there, Diddy and an associate of his, they allegedly SA Lisa and her friend. But then, around this same time, Diddy is out on a date with this girl, Joy. And Joy is a nice girl, she's in college, and as the date goes on, I guess Diddy can start to tell that she's not really that into him. Oh, but that's not gonna stop Diddy, and he apparently slips a little something in her drink, and by the end of dinner, she's all messed up and she's completely out of it. So Diddy helps her to the car, and then he takes her home and he essays her. Oh, and he also films it and he shows that video to a bunch of his buddies. And then, a few years later, Diddy starts his own record label, and he starts managing one of hip-hop's most successful artists at the time. Then he becomes a successful hip-hop artist himself, so bro is just killing it. And eventually, he's just absurdly rich. Like, he's got all this money. And he buys a mansion in the Hamptons. Now, at this mansion, he starts throwing these huge parties where everyone dresses in all white. They're called white parties. And he invites a ton of celebrities and musicians and models and other people who are up and coming. Now, these white parties, they're pretty much like standard industry parties. In general, nothing too newsworthy is going on at them, just celebrities partying. Except sometimes. Like at one of the parties, Diddy meets this kid, who we'll call Anonymous. And Anonymous is 16 and not sure what he's doing at one of these parties, but he really wants to get into the entertainment business. So when he meets Diddy, Diddy is like, I can make you a star, kid. And Anonymous is like, alright. And so then Diddy is like, but I'm gonna need you to take your clothes off first. And Anonymous really wants to be a star, so unfortunately, he does. And so then, fast forward a few years, and it's the 2000s now. And by this point, Diddy is established hip-hop royalty, and he's doing whatever the hell he wants. Doing whatever the hell he wants. He's allegedly partying with tons of underage girls at this point and drugging them, or he's asking his staff to drug them. But then eventually, his record label, they sign this hot new singer. Her name is Cassie, and Cassie is 19, and Diddy thinks she is fine. Plus, she can really sing well. So Cassie and Diddy, they hit it off, and ultimately they start dating. And they date for a while, but at some point, their relationship turns dark. See, Diddy, he likes to party. We've already established that. But, along with his white parties, he also hosts these other secret, more exclusive parties called freak-offs. And at these freak-offs, shit tends to get crazy. Like, he allegedly invites young, attractive women to these freak-off parties and gives them lots of drugs and alcohol. And then he allegedly makes them smash with male sex workers while he watches and films it. And apparently these freak-offs happen often, and sometimes they last for like days at a time, like they're fucking Coachella. And the worst part is he allegedly makes his girlfriend Cassie participate in them. In fact, speaking of Cassie, Diddy is very controlling when it comes to her. Like one day he sees her talking to another talent agent, and I guess he gets so jealous and so mad at her that he pushes her into his car and he kicks her several times and her face is all messed up from it. And another time he gets so mad that he throws a hot frying pan at her. Bro is just a monster. And if you're like, Ray, then why doesn't Cassie just leave him? Well, she tries. Like one time, Diddy and Cassie, they're in a hotel room and they're arguing. And suddenly, pow, Diddy just punches her right in the face. And later, he ends up passing out because I guess he's just wasted. And so he's passed out and Cassie's like, sweet, now's my chance to leave. And so she gets her suitcase and she steps out into the hall. And so he's passed out and Cassie's like, sweet, now's my chance to leave. And so she gets her suitcase and she steps out into the hall. And there's actually security footage from the hotel of her headed to the elevator. But then Diddy wakes up. And I guess he's naked, so he like grabs a towel and he runs out the door after her. And you can see him here, he's running down the hall. And so she's in the hall and she's waiting for the elevator and you can see Diddy walk up to her and suddenly... Now, I can't show you this part because it is really, really violent, but I'll explain it to you. Diddy grabs her by the neck and he throws her to the ground and he kicks the shit out of her until she's unconscious and no longer moving. Like, it is brutal. There is no defending it. Now, the good thing is that eventually Cassie actually does break up with him. Allegedly, they go out to dinner and she breaks the news to him, and as you can imagine, this really pisses Diddy off. So, what does he do? He follows her home, he forces his way into her place, and then sadly, he essays her. Oh, but Diddy's not done, because years later, it's now 2022, and he's still acting like a monster. And one day, he hires a producer slash videographer to help him out on some projects. This guy, Lil Rod. And he wants Lil Rod to produce a few songs on his next album, and he wants him to follow him around with a camera filming lots of things, like documenting stuff for him. And this seems like a good gig for Lil Rod. He's producing music, and he's hanging out at parties with hip-hop royalty Diddy. How cool is that? But, of course, like with all things Diddy, soon enough, things start to get really bad. Because eventually, Diddy has him filming things he's not so cool with. Like, Diddy's got him filming the drugging and essaying of minors. And of course, it's only a matter of time before Diddy sets his sights on Lil Rod himself. Because one night, they're all drinking and Lil Rod ends up with a spiked drink and he passes out kind of suddenly and he wakes up naked in Diddy's bed. And he doesn't remember the details of anything, but he does know that he didn't consent to any of this. And so, despite all these horrible things going on, it seems like everyone in Diddy's inner circle is either too afraid or too complicit to say or do anything about any of this. And he's just gonna keep doing all this, and he's gonna keep getting away with this evil shit. Until... in 2022, New York State, where most of these crimes happened, they passed legislation called the Adult Survivors Act. The Adult Survivors Act allows victims of SA a 1-year window to sue, even if the statute of limitations had run out. Even if the SA happened way back in the 90s, victims could still sue for it during this 1-year window. And that changes everything. And so, kaboom, Cassie suddenly hits Diddy with a lawsuit. And so, kaboom, Cassie suddenly hits Diddy with a lawsuit, accusing him of abuse and SA. And one day, after she files the suit against him, he makes her a huge settlement offer, and she accepts it. So they settle out of court for what I imagine is an astronomical amount of money. But then, about a week later, bam, Diddy is hit with another lawsuit by Joy. And the same day, pow, Lisa sues him for SAing her too. Then, Lil Rod sues him, and eventually, Anonymous sues him as well. Oh, and it's not just them. The lawsuits just keep coming in. And Diddy and his attorneys, they're denying any wrongdoing, but the headlines are just dominating the news. Okay, but then it gets even worse for Diddy, because the feds step in. Now, they've been investigating him for a long while, for sex trafficking and for some other stuff. And once they have enough probable cause, kaboom, Homeland Security raids Diddy's properties in LA and Miami. And they find a bunch of stuff there, like drugs and like 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Literally 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which I guess he used at those freak-off parties. I don't know, I'm not a baby oil person. But anyway, all of this is making the news, and these stories and these accusations are blowing up. And people are like, yo, did Diddy really do all this crazy stuff that he's being accused of? Surely not. But then CNN gets a hold of that hotel security footage of that time he assaulted Cassie, and they release it to the public. And so the world finally gets to see what an awful person he is. And so now Diddy has to go and post a video on his Instagram making this big apology.
I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
And while he does apologize for what he did to Cassie and he tries to get the public back on his side, it just doesn't work. Diddy is officially a meme, synonymous with sexual misconduct. And even if he did somehow get the public back on his side, it doesn't matter because the feds are still very much investigating him. And so, boom, they finally arrest him. And he's charged with sex trafficking and racketeering and transportation to engage in prostitution? Jeez. Now, in this video, I only talked about a few of the Now, in this video, I only talked about a few of the accusations and a few of the lawsuits he's involved in, the major ones. But at this point, Diddy's been hit with literally dozens of other lawsuits involving SA and other things that I didn't even get a chance to talk about. And allegedly, there
It's difficult to say one. Probably one of the beaches in Portugal. Madeira is nice. Algarve. And the Red Sea too. Bolo do Caco. Lisboa. Bitoque. Fish and chips. Madrid, paella. Gnocchi. Gnocchi. ¿Sabes o que es gnocchi? A mí me gusta más que pasta. Do you know what is gnocchi? Find out. Cámaras. No.
So how did Robert Downey Jr. go from broke and homeless into one of the biggest movie stars in the world? Now, Robert is a kid when this story starts, and he's around 5 years old, living mostly in New York, and his dad is in the movie industry making small independent movies. And instead of getting a babysitter, his dad will just put him in his movies. And one day in 1971, something pretty messed up happens that's gonna change his life forever. His dad gives him a little Zaza at 6 years old. And since his father is an addict himself, mostly Coca-Cola, he always has drugs and alcohol around. And over the years, he starts giving them to Robert regularly. And so Robert has been doing
Mommy!
Yes?
I was at the playground and Daddy and...
Son, slow down. You can tell me in a calm voice.
Oh, okay. So I was at the playground and I saw Daddy's car go into the woods with Auntie Jane. So I went to look and Daddy was giving Auntie Jane a big kiss. Then they helped each other get undressed, and then Auntie Jane laid down on the seat. Then Daddy...
Okay, son, you can stop right there. This is an interesting story. Can you save the rest of it for supper time? I want to see the look on Daddy's face when you tell it tonight. At the dinner table. Hey, son, can you tell the story again? Story? Ooh, I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, so Dad and Auntie Jane were undressing and laying down in the back of the seat in the car. Then Daddy and Auntie Jane did the same thing Mommy and Uncle Fred used to do when Daddy was in the army.
Oh, great heavens! Oh, great heavens!
Estamos yo voy a tener tu cuerpo con la luz de la luna. Estamos yo voy a tener tu cuerpo con la luz de la luna.
Honey, I'm home. I'll be out in a second. I'm showering right now. Oh, I didn't realize you were going to be home so early today. Yeah, they gave us a half day at work today. That makes sense. What do you want to eat? We can order in. What about Five Guys? What? Five Guys? What are you, cheating on me? The burger place. Oh, yeah, I haven't had that place in forever, but okay, I guess we can. What the? Hello?
Hey babe, I'll be home soon. Can you take the leftover pasta out of the fridge for dinner?
Are you calling me from the shower?
What? I don't have time for this. I'm exhausted from work. I'll be home in 15 minutes.
Oh, great heavens!
Honey, I'm home. I'll be out in a second. I'm showering.